Hi guys, Daniel here, just doing a quick video response to this week's topic of the week, which is all about our experience at conventions. A quick preamble, I have not made a video in quite a long time, and that's just simply because work, study and life in general have gotten in the way of the hobby, so I've had to drop it for a while, but I'm back in and I hope to be getting involved making topic of the week responses and posting pictures on the PNP and so forth. So I'm looking forward to that. So back to the topic at hand, I've never been to a convention, so I can't really relate with the experience that Vince had described in that sense, but I can say that my experience gaming in a Games Workshop store probably 10 to 15 years ago was a very, very similar experience, and I would say it was probably the golden age of my hobbying, just in terms of getting involved with local community and by the number of games I was playing. And I know that Vince ragged a bit on the Games Workshop stores, and he's right at the moment, because right now they're just a typical store. You go in, you see some pretty models and pretty set up table, and then you go and grab what you want off the shelf and leave. But back then they were run as a much more of a proper gaming store. So they would have games where they would set up a couple of armies on each side of the table. You'd get a whole lot of people around it, grab a unit or two each, and then play a game. And that included making up silly rules and silly situations, and it was all taken in fun, but it was just a great time. And if you weren't doing that, you were chatting to the local staff working in the store, because we went down pretty regularly, pretty much every Friday and sometimes on weekends, so we got to know them pretty well, and you could stand around chatting and they're all nice and friendly. Not that they're not now, but I feel like not having a reason to get in there to play games means you don't get to know them as well. And if it wasn't that, then you were sitting down and painting, because it's not so much now, but back then they used to have big painting tables in the middle of the stores, so you could have 6 people sitting around painting and chatting in the store, while other people are mulling around playing games, other people are chatting, and it was just a whole environment where you're with a whole lot of other people that are involved in the hobby and interested and chatting, and it just improves the experience as a whole. And further to that, I feel like it's something I'm missing out on now, just having grown up and moved away from some of my friends. We still catch up, but we don't get time to game. And adding to that, there's not the coverage of game stores that there once was in terms of playing Age of Sigmar. The Games Workshop stores barely do anything anymore, and the local game stores are also fractured between the vast array of board games and miniatures games, that to find a store where you're having a lot of people with a common interest, even if it's not the whole store, is very difficult. And I don't know a place in my local west side of Melbourne that even plays Age of Sigmar. There are a few local shops, but they're, like I said, so fractured between the various games that they just never play it. So to sum up, I have had some very positive experiences with Games Workshop run, I suppose you might call the Friday nights we used to go to a sort of a mini event or a mini convention, but it's a great thing to be able to do, and it adds greatly to the experience of the hobby, just because you're around so many like-minded people all chatting and having fun about the same thing. So I might leave it there. As I mentioned earlier, I hope to be posting more of these responses, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Cheers.